Hey guys, Branch Brown here, physical therapist, CrossFit coach, and wellness coach with Get Your Fix Physical Therapy. So, ending the hip mobility series today. Now that you know how to improve the mobility, now I'm going to show you how about retraining your motion. So basically, your body learns habits and patterns, and anytime you have limited mobility, your body learns that pattern of movement and starts to move in that limited pattern. So once you gain that mobility, now it's time you need to actually train it in order to know how it's supposed to move. And so that movement feels normal and comfortable and part of your day-to-day lifestyle and habit. So first I'm going to demonstrate how you should not be moving, and then we'll talk about what you should be doing. So when you need to get down to the floor for something, hey Cameron, good to see you on here. When you need to get down to the floor for something, best way to do it is using your legs and squatting down. So essentially you're getting down to that full depth squat position to get what you need to. Unfortunately, what typically happens and what I typically see is more of a just bending down forward position. So if you need to get something that's light, that's typically how people do it. Or if you're bending down, you're getting onto your toes. So then you end up in this sort of position on the balls of your feet. Your knees are coming quite a ways forward. With that, what tends to happen then is it puts a lot of pressure on your knees, adding to more wear and tear and breakdown on the knees themselves. So it causes the downward spiral of other things. So there's a lot of reasons that you may not be able to get into a full depth squat. Thanks, Dan. There's a number of reasons you may not be able to get into a full depth squat. Hip mobility is one of them. Ankle mobility is one of them. Trunk control has a lot to do with that as well. But I will say the majority of people, it's both ankles and hips. We have addressed ankle mobility here in previous ones that I've done, so now we're just kind of working on the hips. But as far as retraining motion, when you're squatting down, essentially think about sitting in a chair. So if you're going to, yes, I know, Pepper. So if you're going to sit down in a chair, you're not going to come forward with your knees. The chair's behind you, you're going to get your butt backwards. Basically, your motion to get down to the floor should be that same exact motion. So if I'm going to pick up my cat here who won't stop whining, I would take my hips backwards, come down to the floor, and come down this way, rather than coming forward in this position or rather than bending down. So getting those hips backwards first, coming down to the floor, doing what you need to be doing, using those legs to get you back up. Hey Tony, good to see you. Yes, Cameron. She won't stop whining. So it's very important once your body learns the new once you gain that mobility, you need to really start to use that mobility, and in the form of good proper mechanics and movement when you are doing things. She probably is. She's getting there. It's about half hour away from food time. So if you have any questions or comments on this, definitely post those below if you're watching this on replay. I'd love to answer any other questions you have regarding that. There's a lot more I can go into regarding movement patterns, but I just kind of wanted to keep this somewhat basic and a task that everyone does on a day-to-day basis. And as usual, if you have anything directly you want to talk to me about, definitely feel free to private message me. I would be happy to answer any of those questions that you have regarding any issues that are going on with you. So, hope you had a wonderful day, and I will touch base with you guys all again tomorrow. So, have a good night, guys. Bye.